Hispanic man pushing his bike up that big hill. He tried to get on it, and then he thought better of it. So where I grew up right outside Washington, D.C., and there was lots of different kinds of people down there, lots of different backgrounds, lots of different cultures. And in Maine, it's not really that way. So any opportunity to spend time with somebody from a different background, I said, I'm gonna offer him a ride. So I turned the truck around. I was getting tires on that truck for my husband, Michael, that day. And I offered him a ride, and he said, thank you. So we put his bike in the back and he got in. Now normally when you give somebody a ride, they might have to go a mile or 2 miles, maybe 3 miles down the road. So I asked Leo, where are you going? And he said, Hope. Now Hope is like 25 minutes away from where I live in Warren. But I thought to myself, well, he needs a ride, and I offered a ride, so I'm just gonna give him a ride to Hope. Because it was 25 minutes long, I got to learn a lot about Leo on the way. He was born in Mexico. He came to Florida, United States, when he was 4. He spent some time in Texas, and then he went back to Florida. He just celebrated his 25th birthday, day after Carrick's. He has 8 brothers. 8 brothers, can you imagine? Oh my gosh. And I asked him why he was walking along our road. It's a busy road. He said that he worked for a roofing company, and they had been working that day in Waldoboro, and they were not treating him well. They had not been treating him well for some time, and that morning he said, that is it. I'm leaving this job. So he had already been walking 2.5 hours before I picked him up, and he put it into his GPS, and it would have taken him 4 hours to walk to his home in Hope. So he was very glad that I picked him up. Because we had that time together, I was able to share some things about myself and that my work environment is much better than his. I told him about our church and my job here. And when I dropped him off, he asked me for my phone number. I gave it to him so that we could stay in contact. Now, there was this tension between Leo and I the entire ride. And it wasn't because we were strangers. It was because Leo wanted to pay me for that ride. He didn't have any money on him, but it was really bothering him. The first thing that he said when he got in the truck was, I don't have any money on me. I said, that's okay, I didn't stop for your money. And several times during the ride, he said, well, I'm gonna pay you back, I'm gonna pay you back. And I knew that he had asked for my phone number because he wanted to be able to pay me back after I dropped him off. But I told him he was just gonna have to take it. So he texted me soon after I got home. He said he was going to go to the bank and he was going to give me some money. And I said, Leo, I'm just not going to accept your money. You should just pay it forward. Do you know what pay it forward means? It means you do something for someone, usually somebody that you don't know, and you pay it forward. You do an act of kindness without expecting anything in return. So after we had that tension on that ride, I started to think about this own tension that I have in my own life. And that's because God gave us such a great gift, right? He sent his only son to earth knowing ahead of time that he was going to be mistreated and that he was eventually going to be killed. And he did that for us. He did that to show us that there is life after death and that when we die on this earth that we will be with God. But how can we repay that debt? There's nothing. There's nothing that you could do to repay that debt to God. But there is something that you can do. You can honor that debt by showing others kindness. And this is a great time of year to do that during Advent. Anytime is a good time, but this is especially a wonderful time to give back to God and honor God through your love for others. You could hold the door for somebody, or if you saw somebody drop something, make sure it gets back to them. You could give somebody a ride. You could take a dove off the dove tree. You could sit next to somebody who doesn't sit next to anybody at lunch. You can tell somebody their fly is down, right? Anything like that. So this week and the next several weeks as we get ready for Christmas, find a way to honor God and God's gift to you, right? So let's pray. Lord, we thank you for the opportunities that you give us to show your love towards others. We thank you for that gift of Jesus on this earth, and knowing that we can never repay that debt. Help us to work towards kindness to others, people that we know and people that we don't know. Amen.